morning, everyone, and welcome today. We are blessed to be in life now. So, my name is Lenir Tendaishimie. As a member of the Paris Committee of Capacity Building, PCCB, I would like to welcome you all to the second week of the Capacity Building Hub here at COP27. Today, we will be focusing on capacity building efforts for our oceans and land. We know how the oceans and the land are important for our life and the environment. I look forward to the variety of events today which will explore the capacities needed to mainstream and scale up nature-based solutions and ecosystem-based approaches into climate adaptation plans and resilience building. Before we dive into the events of today, let me introduce you to the Paris Committee on Capacity Building, which is established at the COP21 in 2015. The PCCB seeks to address current and emerging gaps and needs in implementing and further enhancing capacity building in developing countries. To support the PCCB mission and mandate, the committee launched the PCCB network in 2020 as a voluntary association of interested stakeholders engaged in climate-related capacity building. The PCCB regularly mobilizes the expertise of its network members at the regional level through Paris Committee on Capacity Building side events at the UNFCCC Regional Climate Weeks, through regular webinars and events throughout the year, but also at the international level through the Capacity Building Hub at COP. We are halfway through the fourth edition of the Capacity Building Hub PCCB's amended event that takes place each year at COP. I would like to thank the International Union for Conservation of Nature, IUCN, for leading the organization of today's events and for their commitment to capacity building efforts through nature-based solutions. Now, let's over to Crispin to tell us more about today's theme. Thank you.
Thank you, Renilde, and good morning to all. My name is Crispin Deverne, and I am also a member of the Paris Committee on Capacity Building, PCCB. It is my distinct pleasure to welcome you all today as we explore the theme of capacity building through nature-based solutions for our oceans and land. Today, we will be engaging with various organizations such as Conservation International, the International Union for the Conservation of Nature, IUCN, RARE, the Friends of EBA Network, the Green-Gray Infrastructure Community of Practice, and Michigan Technological University, MTU, to explore nature-based solutions, while other organizations such as FAO, the UNFCCC Farmers Constituency, will also focus on climate action in nature. Climate action agriculture, sorry. Lastly, the Division of Ocean Affairs and the Law of the Sea, Office of Legal Affairs, United Nations, Doualas, Peace Boat, Youth Negotiators Academy, and One Ocean Hub Africa, in collaboration with the University of Strathclyde, will focus on capacity building efforts concerning our oceans. We also have some interesting modalities today, including a theater performance today which looks at spiritual, cultural, and scientific understandings of the oceans as it relates to climate change. So I hope everyone will be sticking around for that. As highlighted by the IPCC in its Working Group 2 report on impacts, adaptation, and vulnerability, climate resilience, ecosystems integrity, biodiversity, and human well-being are completely interlinked. This report also drew attention to nature-based solutions as they reduce vulnerabilities and risks to people and to nature. The UN has declared 2021-2030 as the Oceans Decade, a shared global effort that builds on decades of achievements in ocean science. As mandated by the UN General Assembly, the Intergovernmental Oceanographic Commission, IOC of UNESCO, will coordinate this process. The PCCB's mission to enhance capacity building efforts for climate change has taken this declaration as an opportunity to highlight the oceans as a key factor in building a sustainable future. Ultimately, nature-based solutions strengthen the resilience of social and natural systems against climate change, which is why we have dedicated today's event to exploring the diverse range of capacity-building efforts through nature-based solutions around the world. I would now like to welcome the International Union for Conservation of Nature, IUCN, who are the lead organizer of the day, to provide some more information. Over to you, Chris.
Thank you very much for the introduction, and thank you to the Paris Committee on Capacity Building for their vision for today on land and oceans. I think it's very exciting, and what has been really interesting in this capacity building in Hub has been the direction that we're now working on specific themes, and the offer for IUCN to act as chair for the day is massively appreciated and a great honour for us, and particularly the focus on nature-based solutions. IUCN have been working on nature-based solutions in its conceptual framework, but actually we were doing a lot of work over the last 25, 30 years on ecosystem-based adaptation, on forest landscape restoration. And nature-based solutions gives the broader umbrella for us to work within that. Our definition was for nature-based solutions approved by our members, which is 1,400 governments, NGOs, subnational governments, and indigenous peoples organisations, was approved in 2016 at our Global Congress. And then in 2020, the NBS standard was approved. And that was a key stepping stone for us. It helped highlight the importance, but give a quality assurance to nature-based solutions, and making sure that when we are delivering nature-based solutions, and Crispin, it was great to hear your reference to the cultural aspects of nature-based solutions, and making sure that the rights, access for indigenous peoples, local communities, smallholders, farmers are centre to the NBS approach, but also making sure that we also are integrating gender there. I think also part of the reflection that I see in nature-based solutions is the opportunity that we had. If we look back at the acceleration of the concept, I think in Glasgow for me there was a good conversation around nature-based solutions. It was really building up, but I think here even I've been, even though being totally integrated in it, I've been amazed at now that it really is integrated into the climate change conversation. And previously, if nature was mentioned at UNFCCC, it was pushed out the door and said, take that to CBD. But now it's really part of the conversation, and that bridge between the different conventions is critical. And I think here at Sharm el-Sheikh, we're really doing that. And as well, I mentioned the quality assurance through the standard, but also really enhancing the resilience that nature-based solutions can deliver. And I was just reflecting just before sitting down to talk here on my role that I've been doing here, and I've been involved. I'm the director for the IUCN Centre of Economy and Finance, and have a lot of agricultural work. In actual fact, we're developing an agricultural team in that centre, and so I've been involved in a lot of agricultural discussions. And again, agriculture has been seen as the threat, has been seen as the challenge. Oh, it's deforestation. We need to really make sure how we're stopping deforestation and agriculture. But as nature-based solutions, we also need to see the potential that nature-based solutions can apply, and not just from niche projects, but also at scale. We did a report with Vivid Economics and the high-level champions at Glasgow last year, and if regenerative agriculture is a nature-based solution following the 8 criteria of the NBS standards was applied to, if that was applied to 50% of all agricultural systems in Africa, you would see yields increase between 80 to 40%. Yes, there's that transition period where we need to look at financing, but that's a massive opportunity. That actually stops deforestation, but it also enhances the yield. And I used to talk about 30 harvests left in this world, but someone said to me, no, there's only 16 yesterday. So, we have a lot of pressure if we don't restore the functionality of the land that we're already using, and nature-based solutions can help do that. But also, its value addition is not just yields, but actually in that report we estimated nearly 5 million jobs could be created, and 20% of carbon enhanced in soils. Now, I think that's massive, and we need to. What I urge as you go through today is that we're really seeing nature-based solutions as not just environmentally viable, but economically viable and underpinned by a strong social construct. But also I use the agricultural example, and I did mention carbon, and I think a lot of the time here, MBS gets misused in the concept. It is about high quality MBS that can deliver deliver different solutions to societal challenges. It's not just about climate change, but carbon is a co-benefit in some of the solutions that we have. But we need to realise that it needs to be integrated. And I think that's why it's exciting to see the Egypt government with IUCN leading on the MBS partnership ENACT, which is a partnership led by Egypt, co-chaired by Germany, and now we're seeing a massive uptake with governments as we develop partnerships to accelerate not just implementation of nature-based solutions, but also the finance to nature-based solutions. So. Just as Crispin, you mentioned all the partners that are involved in this, but I also think it's really exciting to see the list of events here, and all of them so close to my heart, and really looking at implementation. And I'd like to thank the committee again on its vision, not just for the theme, but also its vision of making sure we work towards capacity building, towards action, whether that be around adaptation and nature-based solutions. It's great to see a personal perspective, agricultural and farmers in many of the events, but also challenging and how we build up the governance and structures and policy structures for nature-based solutions, and making sure that we are working across all the different stakeholders mentioned. And then also in the other sessions where we start talking about local knowledge and climate science. I think that to me is when we're looking at land and oceans, we're talking about nature-based solutions. We have a lot of local knowledge. It's not a new thing. It's building up opportunities to do that. So linking that knowledge with science is fantastic. So I'd like to again thank you for the opportunity for IUCN to be chairing the day. I'm sure it's great that the outcomes and opportunities of events of processes like this feed into of days like this feed into the UNFCCC outcomes of this COP27, and I think to have it specifically a day on land and oceans and land, and then nature-based solutions is fantastic. So thank you very much. I wish you all the best for today. I'll be in and out at different points and on from a personal interest perspective, and I wish you the best of luck. Thank you.
Thank you, everyone.